Today on Public Eye News, a Missouri man has been charged with crossing the Ambassador Bridge with 40 pounds of cocaine, and more than 10,000 employees at John Deere go on strike.
Later, Ross Ray will have your weather and Michael Cudahy will have your sports. Hello, my name is Brendan Ford.
And I'm Andrew Hoover. Thank you for tuning in to Public Eye News. A Missouri man has been charged with the importation and possession of a controlled substance after being stopped at the Ambassador Bridge entering Canada. Federico Jimenez Martinez was arrested by Canadian Mounties on August 29th when he was recommended for a second inspection of his vehicle on the Ambassador Bridge entering Canada to Windsor, Ontario. Upon the second inspection, authorities found 18 bricks of cocaine, weighing roughly 40 pounds altogether. The Mackinac Bridge Authority will be reinstating their driver assistance program with a fee on November 1st. The program, developed in the 1980s, gives drivers the option to have an MBA employee drive their car across the bridge for them. The program was utilized by 2,559 drivers in 2019 before the COVID-19 pandemic led the MBA to temporarily discontinue the program. Now, as of November, drivers will once again have the option to be chauffeured across the bridge for a $10 fee, which will increase to $15 in 2025. The pedestrian, bicyclist, and snowmobiler transport program will also continue with a price raise. $5 for pedestrians, $15 for bicycles, and $20 for snowmobiles. Michiganders who use bridge cards for benefits will be unable to do so late Saturday and early Sunday while a system upgrade takes place. The bridge card system will be down from approximately 11 p.m. Saturday to 11 a.m. Sunday. The system upgrade will improve access to food and cash assistance with the help of a mobile app that was not previously available. System upgrades also involve a switch to Fidelity Information Systems, a Florida-based technology service company, which will be the new electronic benefit transfer provider for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. The system needs to be shut down during the transition from the previous vendor.
Michigan goal is to replace Benton Harbor's lead-tainted water pipes. They plan to accomplish this within 18 months with a $10 million appropriation for lead pipe removal. So far, 219 out of the estimated 2,400 lead lines in the city have been replaced. And Governor Gretchen Whitmer's office has issued bottled water deliveries and health care for Benton Harbor. The Department of Health and Human Services has delivered several cases of water bottles as well as water filters to the residents. Although there has been a decrease in the amount of lead in the water, residents are still being advised to use bottled water for brushing their teeth and cooking. More than 10,000 John Deere and Company workers went on strike today after rejecting a proposed contract from the company. The union stated that its members would walk out if no agreement was reached by Wednesday, October 13th, and Deere's proposed contract, offering 5% and 6% raises to some workers, adding up to $30 an hour for top-scale production work, was rejected by the majority of union members. Employees cite long hours throughout the pandemic and a major staff shortage as the main reasons for the demand for fair compensation. John Deere is expecting to report in between $5.7 and $5.9 billion of profit, record numbers for the agricultural machinery corporation. Strikers expect the demonstrations to last through the week. And after this break, we will be back with your national and international news. Stay tuned.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. On this UTR, it's our first ever Detroit Restaurant Ketchup Show. And no, it's not about that red stuff you put on your hamburger. It's about the fact that new and awesome eateries are opening up so fast in the Motor City, we can't keep up. So get ready to speed date some dinners right here on Under the Radar Michigan.
Tonight at 9:30 on WNMU-TV.
Welcome back, everybody. Former NFL quarterback Brett Favre is in some hot water with the Mississippi State Auditor. Favre owes $828,000 to the state in welfare that should have gone to families in need, according to Shad White, the Mississippi State Auditor. Favre also received $1.1 million from two nonprofits whose owners have been indicted on federal and state charges concerning the largest embezzlement scandal in Mississippi history. Favre does not face any criminal charges but has 30 days to return the money or face a civil lawsuit. Purdue Pharma's settlement for their alleged involvement in the start of the opioid crisis was not delayed as many were hoping. Federal Judge Colleen McMahon said that though she did not support the delay in the settlement, The settlement is currently just in the administration phase. It would be worth about $5 to $10 billion that could go towards helping those with drug rehab or other ways to help those harmed by the opioid epidemic. Many are against the settlement, though, and some are even arguing whether it's even constitutional. Attorneys for the Department of Justice argue that this settlement would strip the American people and those most hurt by the opioid crisis alongside the United States government from being able to sue the Sackler family for their involvement with the company's drug, OxyContin. There is another scheduled hearing in the federal bankruptcy court of Judge Robert Drain. And today, the White House pushes for a new vaccine mandate, and an independent FDA advisory committee is debating whether booster shots are needed for those who have already received the Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Skylar Henry has more details from the FDA headquarters in Silver Spring, Maryland.
The number of new COVID cases, hospitalizations, and deaths is declining, which President Biden says is because of an increase in vaccinations.
I'm asking everyone who hasn't gotten vaccinated, please get vaccinated. That's how we put this pandemic behind us.
The Biden administration is finalizing a mandate that all businesses with more than 100 workers require their employees be vaccinated. A new study shows more than 90,000 American deaths since June could have been prevented if they were vaccinated.
Vaccination requirements should not be another issue that divides us. That's why we continue to battle the misinformation that's out there.
Vaccine mandates are already facing legal challenges. Wednesday, a federal judge in Texas blocked United Airlines from putting unvaccinated workers on leave. While the Biden administration pushes for Americans to get their first vaccine dose, an FDA advisory committee is looking into whether people with the Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccine need a booster shot.
Over time, there is still relative preservation of the effectiveness of the vaccine against preventing hospitalization, yet there seems to be a decrease over the course of time against overall COVID-19 that was observed.
The group will also look at a new study which shows people with the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine may be better off switching up and getting a booster shot from the Moderna or Pfizer vaccine. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Silver Spring, Maryland.
Last night, a man armed with a bow and arrow killed 5 people in Kongsberg, a small town near Norway's capital. Authorities now say this attack appeared to be a terrorist act. Police identified the attacker as Espen Andersen Brathen, a 37-year-old Danish citizen who was arrested on the street Wednesday night. They said he used the bow and arrow and possibly other weapons to randomly target people at a supermarket and other locations. Norwegian media reported the suspect previously had been convicted of burglary and drug possession, and last year a court granted a restraining order for him to stay away from his parents for 6 months after he threatened to kill one of them. Moving on to other stories, heavy fighting broke out in the streets of Beirut during a protest against the federal judge leading the investigation into last year's port explosion. The protest, organized by the Hezbollah group, was targeted against federal judge Tariq Batar's handling of the investigation into the major explosion at Beirut's central port last year, which led to 215 deaths. During the protest, gunmen opened fire and major fighting broke out in the street, leading to 6 recorded deaths and more than 30 injuries. The Hezbollah group has accused the Lebanese Forces Party, a right-wing Christian group, of staging the attack. Officials from the Hezbollah party have said they'll stage a walkout if Batar is not removed. Prince William has some choice words for world leaders about the future of the environment. He made the comments ahead of a climate summit next month in Scotland. CBS's Ian Lee reports from London.
The call for climate action is growing louder, from the young to old, everyday folks to royals.
You know, we are seeing a rise in climate anxiety.
Prince William worries what life will be like for future generations.
You know, young people now are growing up where their futures are basically being threatened the whole time. It's very unnerving and it's very, you know, anxiety-making.
The father of 3 sat down with the BBC, saying he's concerned politicians are all talk and no action.
It'd be an absolute disaster if Georgia sat here in another 30 years' time, whatever, still saying the same thing, because by then we'll be too late.
Prince William's comments come just weeks before world leaders arrive in the UK for an international climate change conference. The British royal also slammed the current billionaire space race, taking aim at Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, and Elon Musk.
We need some of the world's greatest brains and minds fixed on trying to repair this planet, not trying to find the next place to go and live.
Young activists say even the royals could do more to protect the environment. A message they took to Buckingham Palace, urging the Queen to plant more trees and go organic. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Coming up, we will have Ross Ray with your weather and Michael Cudahy with your sports. Stay tuned.
Discover the complex life and legacy of Helen Keller. Deaf and blind since childhood, she used her celebrity and wit to advocate for human rights.
She was such a trailblazer for so many of these social movements.
Learn how a determined spirit made her a worldwide icon.
She transcended nationhood.
Becoming Helen Keller.
The curtain rose on my life's work.
On American Masters.
Tuesday night at 9 on WNMU-TV.
And welcome back to Public Eye News. My name is Ross, and I'll be taking you through your weather today. Taking a look behind me at our academic mall here on the NMU campus. We have some sun in the sky, some green on the ground. That sun's going to keep up going here throughout the rest of our weekend here. Taking a look at our current conditions, currently sunny with a temperature of 61 degrees or winds south at 20 miles per hour, barometric pressure of 29.47 and falling. Going on until later tonight, we're going to keep up those clear skies, have a low of 45 degrees, and our winds southwest at 5 miles per hour. Then moving on to tomorrow, we're going to have sunny skies, a little bit of a chance of rain here, about 30%, so nothing too much to worry about, with a high of 54 degrees, other winds west at 5 miles per hour. Now, taking a look across the UP here, we have some nice big chunk of sky, sun right in the middle with a bit of clouds here and there scattered around the corners. Starting over here at Sault Ste. Marie, we're going to be looking at 76 and rainy, 65 and sunny, both in Manistee and Escanaba. Going down to Menominee, it's going to be 64 and sunny. Moving to our other half of the UP, 63 and sunny in Iron Mountain. Ironwood's going to be 51 with some cloudy skies. Mostly sunny skies all the way up in Houghton at 60 degrees. And back here in Wonderful Marquette, it's going to be 61 and sunny. Let's take a look at your weekend ahead. Going on to Saturday, we're going to have a high of 54, low 45 with some partially sunny skies. That sun's going to be coming out bright and full on Sunday with a high of 59 and a low of 44. And on Monday, that sun's going to keep on shining with a high of 65 and a low of 48. That's it for your weather update. Now let's dive over to Michael with your sports.
Hi there. Yesterday, the World Cup qualifying matches continue with the United States taking on Costa Rica. Costa Rica scored the first goal of the game in the first minute before Serginho Dest tied the game at 1 in the 25th for Team USA. It looked like we would have had a tie, but then Costa Rica accidentally scored on itself to give the United States a 2-1 win. And with hockey season back underway, many NHL favorites are starting to return to the ice in front of instead of full arenas. One of those favorites is Alexander Ovechkin. Ovechkin scored twice last night against the New York Rangers in the Washington Capitals' 5-1 win, but more importantly, Ovechkin moved up to 5th all-time in NHL goal scoring, passing Mark Dion. With another 35 goals this year, Ovechkin can move to 3rd all-time on that list in just this season. Currently, only Wayne Gretzky, Gordie Howe, Jaromir Jagr, and Brett Hull are ahead on that list. And it was a special night for Anaheim Ducks rookie Mason McTavish. McTavish scored last night in his first NHL game, becoming the youngest Anaheim Duck to do so. And not to spoil his great night, the Ducks beat the Jets 4-1. Jamie Drysdale, the other prominent Ducks rookie, got an assist last night, and goalie John Gibson made 33 saves.
That is very impressive, 33 saves.
Yeah, definitely a really good win for the Anaheim Ducks. Winnipeg Jets, not a bad team at all.
Not a bad team at all. I remember they did pretty good last season as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did get swept in the first round, but that's all the time we have for today.
Thanks for tuning in to Public Eye.
I'm Michael Cudahy.
And I'm Brendan Ford. Have a beautiful day.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.